is also requested to come to dais. Chief Librarian Dr. Chandan Hazarika, please come over to the dais. In charge Dean, College of Community Science. Associate Dean, College of Horticulture, please come to the dais. Then OSD, College of Sericulture, please come over. Without delaying much time, I'd like to call upon our registrar to give the welcome address to the Honorable Vice Chancellor. Before Registrar delivers his welcome address, welcome to the Vice Chancellor. First, I will request our in-charge academic cell, College of Agriculture, Dr. Aparista Bora, to felicitate our Honorable Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, Dean sir. Very good afternoon to all of you. The respected Honorable Vice Chancellor of Assam Agricultural University, Dr. Bidut Sideka, Dean College of Agriculture, Jorhat, Dr. Jayanta Deka, and all the other dignitaries present in the dais, all the senior faculties and other faculties of College of Agriculture, College of Sericulture, College of Horticulture, College of Community Science, and the deans, associate deans, and the other faculties from other campuses, that is, Khanapara campuses of College of Veterinary Science, Lakhimpur College of Veterinary Science, College of Fishery, Roha, PNCA College of Agriculture, and Sarat Chandra Sinha College of Agriculture, Dhubri. And the most importantly, the newly admitted students of different UG programs present here and in all the other campuses who are present on virtual mode. First of all, I welcome our Honorable Vice Chancellor to this orientation program for the newly admitted students of UG programs, and also especially the newly admitted students. Definitely, it is the premier institution of Northeastern region as a whole. In Indian scenario, this is a very premier institution in agricultural field, and I think you'll be very proud to be here to study in this under this university. First of all, I want to introduce our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, because he will address to the newly admitted students. Dr. Bidut Sideka, an alumnus of this university, and also he started his career in this university as assistant professor, completing his PhD from IRI, New Delhi. Then he went to Indian Council of Agricultural Research and worked at different capacities in Borapani, Nagaland, Director Atari, Borapani, and then he joined as a Vice Chancellor of this university the last year, the October 2020. He's a very dynamic, visionary person, very active. He knows what to do, what not to do. He can think of the things which the normal people may not see. So I'm very much, we are very much fortunate enough to be, to find him here with us, and it's a really great pleasure to introduce him amongst you. And at the same time, I welcome all of you to this university and hope you will carry forward the glory uh, for new height and dimension. And I wish you all the best. Your stay in this university, in all the campuses here and outside the I mean those Khanapara, Roha, Vishwanath Sareli, Lakhimpur, and Dhubri. You'll find it very fine. It's a very good campus and a very good situation. A lot of students have passed and become a globally competent resource persons. And I don't take much of this valuable time. Now, I request our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, to deliver his introductory speech. Thank you.
Namaskar. Namaskar. Good afternoon, everybody. Mr. Register, all our deans and associate deans, head of the department, faculties, and our newly admitted first year students across 5 different faculties of Assam Agricultural University. I am addressing in a hybrid mode. Many of you may not be knowing because of our other students in the Faculty of Veterinary Science, Fisheries, College of Agriculture at Dhubri, as well as Vishwanath Sareli, North Lakhimpur, College of Veterinary Science, and 4 colleges. Students from 4 colleges housed here at Surat. All of you are here today with me. In fact, since morning, our teachers, our deans, and associate deans might have talked about many things about what you people are going to get in years to come. Before I really go into the subject, what I wanted to speak before you today, I'd like to remind you, all of you, you are the most privileged students of country today. Why I'm saying you are privileged? Out of more than 7,000 students, you are 500 odds whom are being selected through a very, very rigorous process. That's why you are very, very privileged to get admission in different faculties of Assam. And our register has rightly mentioned, Assam Agricultural University is not only a very, very prestigious agricultural university today in the country, it is also one of the oldest agricultural university in the country, which was established way back in 1969 with 3 colleges that time. Today we have 9 colleges. Over the years, we grew like anything. Apart from 9 colleges, we have 11 different research stations across the entire length and breadth of the state of Assam, 23 Krishi Vigyan Kendras, all throughout the states. Why I have said all those kind of things? Because you have just joined with us as a student. And you are going to be the flag bearer of us, flag bearer of this university. That's why it is my prudent duty to let you know about the strength of this particular university. moment you go outside the university from tomorrow onwards, you must know where have you taken the admission, what for have you come over here, and what are the strength of this particular university. You must know all these things. That's why I thought I must tell you, and definitely these things would also be repeated in subsequent lectures by our various deans, associate deans, and faculties as well. Friends, in this particular university, besides your regular course curriculum, you will be exposed to a diverse field of your life. You will be exposed to various co-curricular and extracurricular activities, and Assam Irrigation University is known for that. I still remember my first day at this university when I landed here as a first year student in 31st December 1983. I was like you only, not the smartness today you have. We were not that smart when we landed here in 31st December in 1983. Over a period of time, when we were here as a student, this particular auditorium where we are meeting, even we have a very good auditorium in College of Veterinary Science, all the campuses we have got auditorium in place today. When we were student, we had only these two auditorium. One is at Jorat, the other one at College of Veterinary Science. We have a beautiful playground in all the campuses. And we learned many things when we were students. Where I am speaking today before you, all of us, we were not that smart that you people are today. Because most of us, 99, I should say 100% of us, we are from vernacular schools. Even though we were good in writing English, but then we were very, very poor in speaking English as well as in other languages like Hindi. But over the years, this particular auditorium and elsewhere in our university campuses, our playground have taught us many things in our life besides our course curriculum. And you need to understand this. Bearing attending your classes regularly, your student life will not be the purpose for which you are here, shall not be fulfilled until and unless you participate in co-curricular and extracurricular. Because today is the world of skill, whether it is hard skill or soft skill. I should say rather soft skill is more important. Whatever you know, if you cannot let the other people know, nobody will recognize in your life. Because we have found many of our classmates, many of our seniors, many of our juniors, they were outstanding students. But then at times we have observed them because of not developing proper skills, they were not in a position to excel in their subsequent life because of having lacking in their soft skills. Many of us. That's why try to develop your soft skill besides other required skills across different faculties. Students in agriculture, students in veterinary, students in fisheries, horticulture, sericulture, many disciplines. You will be exposed to different domains of information. Information are flooded in Google's. Our teacher will give you a lot many new informations. It is fine. you will attend different exams. Unlike you attended your exams in your schools, our exam schedules are a little bit different. That my colleagues, they will definitely let you know in those 2 days period of time. There will be a sudden cues, all of a sudden. This sir will tell you, okay, let's have a quiz for 10 marks. That may be unannounced sometime, that may be announced sometime. So whatever are being taught yesterday or day before, you will take a quiz, sudden quiz in the class. Many of you may not be prepared for that. I am saying, try to make a habit of completing your study in a day-to-day basis. We have very good library in all our campuses. Very good library. Utilize the library to the fullest extent. In between classes, you will get some break. Don't waste time. But at the same time, you should also utilize your afternoon time or maybe evening time for the extracurricular activity. Because you are our future generations. Simply knowing subject matter is not going to help you in days to come. You'll have to excel in totality, not in your subject alone. Getting very good grade point, 8.5, 9 out of 10 is meaningless or going to be meaningless until and unless you have clear skill for the market, job market. Because the moment you are being called for an interview, even if you clear the written exams, you will be exposed or you will be asked various kind of questions about your skills, what you know, what you don't know. So that's why I would be requesting all of you, be very serious from day one in your theory as well as practical. Rather, I will emphasize, you give more emphasis on practicals. Because the practicals are the real learning process where you will learn the required skills for your future life. Theory to somehow you can manage, but if you really do not know the things practically, you'll have a lot of problem in your future life. So I would be requesting all of you, try to take classes very, very seriously so that you can get the required skills for your future life. Innovations. When we were students, we were not being exposed to the word innovations. Because that time we were not concerned about our faculties, our teachers. We're not concerned about the new innovations. Of course, there were some exceptional cases. Today we talked about new ideas, new innovations. And you have a fertile mind. Unlike our mind, your minds are more fertile than us. Because whomever you have seen today over here, almost all of us are 50 plus. Many of them are 60 plus. So our mind and our brain are not as fertile as you. So during your study period, try to look for new ideas. Look for new ideas. Because that ideas will give a lot of new leads for the newer development in the field of agriculture and allied fields, whether it is veterinary or fishery, or community science, nutrition and dietetics, whatever it is. We always look for new ideas. and we give the weightage for that. Why I am saying? Recently, one of our students, he came to us, came to me with a new idea. That I have developed some kind of sort of new innovations which may help us in repelling the bird menace we feel. And I said, what is the principle behind your these things? Innovation. He says, sir, even though I am a student of horticulture, he is pursuing his master's. He said, sir, the innovation that I have made is based on the principle of physics. And I said, okay, I would like to have a look. When I got satisfied, okay, let's say some kind of new innovations. Immediately, I made a request to our director of postgraduate studies, Dr. Boyso, to arrange some money for outscaling his innovations. And I'm happy to let you know, immediately it was responded well by our director of postgraduate studies. We gave him some money, he developed some prototypes, and these prototypes are now in our field, and we are testing it utility for repelling effect of bird in the crop. And he claims the same kind of device with little bit of modification, I can develop a sensor-based device to repel monkeys, even to wild elephant. So that kind of innovation I am talking about. Many of you may be having some newer ideas. That's why I always say there are no nonsense questions in any point of time, whether it is in classroom or outside the classroom. There are always nonsense answers. So whatever new ideas come to your mind, do a little bit of research by yourself, take the help of your colleagues. When you find some lead, approach your teachers, you tell him or her, sir, this is a new innovation which I have come across, which I would like to develop it a full-fledged technology. Would you kindly help me? Taking forward my ideas, development of a new technology. And I am pretty sure our faculties, our deans, our associate deans will not fail you to give you the proper directions. So I don't like to take much of your time talking about innovations because you have just joined. Many of you have different kind of dreams in your life. Many of you have come here, okay, let me complete my graduations. After graduations, I'll go for job. I'll go for developing my own business. I would like to become a scientist. Some of you may be thinking I would like to become bureaucrats, civil servant. You'll get all sorts of facilities over. Because I have found students in my life who were very, very good students. First year itself, they failed in more than 3, 4 courses. Of course, in our time, when you fail in 3 courses, 1 year is gone. But in our new regulations, probably the regulations is revised. That respect, you are safe. Many students, they take admission based on the wishes of their parents. Many of you must have joined, which you never thought of joining this particular. Once you have joined, you have made up your mind. Okay, since I have joined here, I'll do whatever is best and whatever I should do. Because no course is outdated. No course is unimportant. Every course is important. It is you who will have to decide. It is you who will have to excel in that particular course. There is always a ray of hope in all courses. Whether you study humanities, you study science, or you study professional. I have found many students, when we ask them in the first year students what you would like to become, he or she says, sir, I'd like to become a scientist. By the time he becomes second year, he started losing his interest. He simply managed to complete his degree. Simply managed. Because he starts giving importance to something else. He is not focused. Or he is a tunnel vision person. That attitude you cannot develop yourself. So from day one, you should have some kind of vision. You should have some kind of goal in your life. Concentrate on that until and unless you achieve that particular. I always say, in many meetings, in fact, I always say, you may have faced a lot of things in your life. Because without problem, life is incomplete. Until and unless you face problem, then only you will learn many things. Because problem, wherever there are problems, there are always solutions. Right? Until and unless there are problems, there will be no solutions. No problem exists in this art where there are no solutions. You may get some quick solutions, and for some problem you need to wait for few days, few months, few years. But then there are solutions for every problem. And trouble-free life you cannot enjoy. To get enjoyment in your life, you need to face a lot of troubles. You being the first year students that you have just joined, and I know you must have already come across it because you have already entered in your hostels, right? You have just left your parents. Many of you must have the habit of sleeping with your mother or father. You have left him or her. Now today, tomorrow, you will be sleeping alone. You have has the habit of taking bath with hot water. You will not get hot water in the hostels. Many few hostels you may have geysers, but many of hostels you may not have geysers, hot water. Many of you have the habit of taking non-veg, whether it is lunch, dinner, you will not get. You have to compromise. You have to compromise. That's why I always say, students are by and large idealistic in nature. We were also like that. That idealistic behavior in subsequent life is not going to get. Your idealistic pattern of life has to be converted into pragmatism. You will have to need to see the practical orientation of many things. You may have some kind of ideology. That ideology, over a period of time, if you stick to it, that sometime may deter you in achieving your goal. That's why I always say pragmatic behavior, practical oriented approach. So those kind of thing is very, very important. You will have to be happy all the time. Many of us we run after, we feel happiness, we feel as if happiness is not like that. Happiness is always within. Happiness is not about all that you want in your life. Happiness is about all that you have and you enjoy. You need to enjoy what you have. What you don't have, you should not run after that. And if you keep on run after that, you'll be frustrated. Because that is not the meaning of life. What is a meaningful life? We must understand that. Meaningful life is not being rich, not being rich, not being highly educated, not being highly perfect. Meaningful life is being real, whether you are real in your sense or your politeness, your humbleness, your attitude towards the life, ability to share yourself with fellow colleagues, and live your life for others. That is meaningful life. Because many of us, we run after materialistic kind of thing these days. If you start running after materialistic gain, you will not be a happy person in your life. To become happy, you should be satisfied what you have. I know many of you have, almost all of you have come from diverse family background. Some of you, there may be some cases, for the first time you have come from a remote corner to a city like Jorhat. I know students from Nagaland, Manipur, the remote hills, because I walked there. How difficult it is to lead a life in the remote hills of Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh. And the family background you have, moment you come here, you will have some of your colleagues which are coming from big cities, from a very well-to-do family. Without car, they don't move. Many of you may be having motorbikes. Some of you may not have the practicing ground for motorbike and four-wheeler. Many of you even do not know how to drive. Forget about having license. So you need to make a difference. Don't compare with a student who is from rich family. And the student from the rich family should not undermine the students who are from very, very poor family. That's why I have purposefully talked about what is meaningful life. Meaningful life is not being rich, not being very, very highly educated, perfect. Meaningful life, I perceive, I mean, many of you may believe, being real. You need not to change yourself. Why you will change yourself? What you are, you are. What has made us like that? Why I need to change? Why I need to change? Because I am vice chancellor? Should I change myself? My originality? My original behavior? Why should I be changed? We should not. Moment we run after that, we try to forget our parents. We try to forget our family members. Don't do that. Because why I'm saying all those kind of things, because we have seen lives, period of time. Many of the lives are being ruined because of one wrong step. Because the moment a person retired, he remembers his friends, he remembers his parents. When he or she was in job, they never remembered, and they are the worst sufferer today in the society. So don't forget your parents at any point of time. Because whatever you are today, it is because of your parents. Hard-earned money are being spent for your development. I know many of the students how difficult for you to reach this particular place. Some of you are son of a farmer, very poor farmer. I know the agony of a son of a farmer because I was also a son of a farmer, how much trouble we had. So I don't like to take much of your time. I wish your life or stay here in our campuses, whether it is in Jorhat, Guwahati, Lakhimpur, Vishwanath Chareli, Dhubri, North Lakhimpur. I wish all of you a very bright future. Our teachers will definitely let you know. We will segregate you the moment you enter the second year. Segregate you means we will not segregate you as a lot. We'll try to identify based on your interest. Some one of you may like to go for immediately after completion of your degree, you'd like to go for a job. Some one of you may be, okay, I would like to develop myself as an entrepreneur. We have a very good scope. We'll orient you towards the entrepreneurship development. Don't look for government job because by the time you complete your graduation, you may not get government job anymore. Even if there are some government job, huge competition. So from now onwards, try to develop your entrepreneurial skills because entrepreneurship is the only answer for development of our country. So with this, once again, I'd like to give you a big compliment that you are being admitted at Assam Agriculture University. God bless you. Thank you.
We'll have a short break for 5 minutes. Students from the College of Community Science, they can leave and they can join their college programs in the college itself. And other rest of the students from College of Agriculture, Horticulture and Sericulture will stay back here for the next program.